Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7, and this is going to be my review for Episode 12 for this season, otherwise entitled Goodbye Vibrations, otherwise known as the Goodbye Cisco episode, and yeah, it was a good episode, and I'm excited to talk about it. But of course, spoiler alert for everything that happens in this episode, both in regards to the Cisco side of things, as well as whatever the hell that was at the end, and we'll have a talk about something because it could potentially link to something we've seen previously. We'll have a chat about it, but yeah, if you haven't watched it, go away. If you have watched it, let me know your various opinions in the comment section down below. Did you think that was a fitting farewell and an enjoyable farewell and just a fitting farewell in regards to Cisco as a character? Do you think it worked in regards to that? I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say, as well as whatever you thought the hell was going on at the ending there. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, you enjoyed the episode and everything like that, would be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support for the channel and the video. But last episode was a while ago because we had a week break. It wasn't a while ago, it was 2 weeks ago. Maybe I'm being over dramatic there, but it was the end of the Force storyline. They wrapped everything up there. They didn't really set anything up in regards to the new villain going forward on the next storyline for the show. Really, the thing at the end was Iris and Barry preparing for a bun, or preparing a bun for the oven. That's probably the best way to put it, to keep it a bit PG. But in regards to this episode, we do see, just kicks off straight from the get-go. We see Cisco bringing in the team from Star Labs early on a Saturday morning, not overly considerate, to let them know that Camilla and himself will be leaving Central City. And it's not going to be in a month or a week or even just a couple of days, not giving that much notice. It's tomorrow. So they don't have that, not much time to prepare for the departure. It's a bit of a short warning, I think. Now, we find out that Camilla is going to that gallery in Miami, which had been brought up previously, but Cisco is actually moving to Star City, with Camilla joining him soon after. And that odd Argus agent we'd seen from earlier episodes in the season, Chip Cooper, who a lot of people were theorizing was like a robot or something, he's moving to another agency, I think it was SEMA or something, which opened the door for Cisco, and he got a very good recommendation from both Lila and Diggle. Obviously, the main one being Lila, because she's the head of Argus. That would probably help a lot. Now, one of the more, nice moments, there was a couple of nice moments, actually there's a good amount of nice moments in this episode, heavily revolved around Cisco, but we do see, the first one of these, is Cisco introducing Chester to the stock room, which we've been to before, but Chester hasn't been there, and Chester freaks out. I think, we'd have the same reaction. Lots of memories in that room from all, the previous things from episode 1 of season 1 to right now, including the helmet that Barry initially wore in the pilot, the samuroids, all the different gadgets, everything. But now it's Chester's responsibility and I guess pleasure to take over that role of the stockroom and stuff. So let's see how much fun Chester has, going forward in regards to that side of the show. Now, one thing which Cisco was finding a bit odd, and I was finding it a bit odd as well, I'm sure everyone else was the non-reaction, I guess you could say, from Barry and Caitlin about him leaving, with it almost seeming like they were like helping him out and, helping him out the door, with Barry packing his stuff and Caitlin, quickly asking for all his security material and even starting to do work and brief on, Flash related stuff or Team Flash related stuff without him. And he's like, what the hell? But of course, Barry and Caitlin were briefing on a new metahuman who is Carrie Bates, aka the new Rainbow Raider or Rainbow Raider 2.0. And we see her initially use her powers to be pretty much, I wrote in my notes, become a multi-millionaire, but receive multi-millions. I think it was 10 millions in a matter of seconds from, a rich organization and a rich dude. And it's one more metahuman for OG Team Flash to take on before Cisco does depart Central City. Perfect timing. Now, we initially had Flash and Mecha Vibe. I'll just say Vibe. Let's go retro. Flash and Vibe versing Rainbow Raider 2.0, and that old device, that prism or prismatic thing or whatever it was, it fails. It works for a bit and then it just fails straight away. It's just it probably needs new batteries, the wires need some tinkering and stuff. It's been in the closet for a bit. Maybe Cisco should have checked that before, but Rainbow Raider actually infects Cisco, if you want to call it infect, with her powers, which leads to a very happy and joyous and childlike Cisco, with Cisco pushing that on Barry when he's actually out and about as the Flash, which leads to laser cats. If you told me there was laser cats in this episode, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? But I don't know, laser cats. And Barry had to experience them while running at the speed of sound or whatever it was, which leads Barry to actually getting affected or infected by Rainbow Raider as well. Hilarious. Caitlin now has 2 children on her hand to deal with. It was very, very funny. I was actually laughing quite hard. It's probably the most I've laughed throughout a Flash episode in quite a while. It was very, very funny, which then led into that dance scene, which completely caught me off guard because that was straight after the ad break, and it just comes in and they're dancing. We learned that Barry can apparently break dance, and I don't know. Once again, Laser Cats, Barry breakdancing definitely weren't on my Flash episode 12 of season 7 bingo card. Definitely caught me off guard. I love surprises, but they were definitely surprising. But Chester is actually able to snap them out of their happy mood or joyous mood or infected mood with a modified gadget. So Chester is showing that it will be useful in regards to that going forward. But there's a bit of a downside in regards to Cisco being snapped out of that joyous, happy mood, is that he eventually does lash out due to how Barry and Caitlin have been acting since he did give them the news that he was leaving, which then leads Barry and Caitlin to finally let their emotions out. It was a very emotional scene. It almost felt like it was the actual actors letting out their emotions, because it was OG Team Flash. You had Barry, you had Caitlin, you had Cisco, and it just felt like it was the actors letting out their emotions with, Carlos Valdez or, who plays Cisco leaving. That's what it felt like. We also had Cisco dive deeper into revealing his psych fear to Caitlin and Barry, us learning more about it being like 30 years in the future. He's the only one left there in Star Labs with the next generation of heroes. He dives into a more emotional explanation of it and description. But yeah, that whole scene there was very, very emotional. But part of this actually leads Barry to figuring out that Carrie, or Rainbow Raider 2.0, isn't actually that much of a villain, but rather like a Robin Hood type. So steal from the rich, give to the poor. Just, I guess, the manner in which he's doing it is maybe not the most well thought out in regards to the big delivery, which leads to her having one hell of a blimp to let the riches fall onto the citizens of Central City, which I thought was very dangerous. Fair enough if it's cash and money and stuff, but there was like diamonds, gold bars, jewelry. If you drop that from any sort of significant height, that will kill people. So if she had dropped that onto the people of Central City, then she would have been a straight up villain because she was pretty much a murderer and a mass murderer at that, because it would have killed a lot of people. So not the best planned thing. But the Flash and Vibe, along with Allegra, she teams along, go to stop Rainbow Raider 2.0, but the blimp is damaged. Oh no. And it's on a one-way crash course into Central City Stadium. I think it was Shark Stadium. I think that was what it was called. Now, Cisco stays behind to stop the blimp too, but, almost looking like he's going to sacrifice himself. It would have been a terrible ending if he died. Hate it when shows do that. Let's kill a character. That's the best way to write them off. No, don't do that. But he's able to gain control of the blimp just in time, thanks to some MacGyver-like trickery. That's probably the best way to describe it, and stop the blimp from crashing. And Carrie's mindset in regards to what she's doing leads to a wave of charity throughout Central City. So Carrie did some good, even though what she was pretty much going to do with that blimp and all that jewelry and gold bars was potentially lethal. Now, I did actually like Cisco's final debrief in Star Labs with just Chester. You expect everyone to be there, but I thought it was fitting that Chester and Cisco just had a one-on-one, just because, I think I even said like Team Chesco and stuff like that, and people do like their friendship, even though it's been a short-lived one. So I think it was good that they had a one-on-one. I think one of the weird things is that you didn't actually get that much Cisco and Camilla in this episode, but I guess you'd had it in the previous episodes, and this was more about, because Camilla's only been around for a tiny bit, and even then she hasn't been that relevant. She's only been here and there. It's not, she like Allegra's been much more relevant, for example. So maybe, I can understand why they felt that, do the stuff with Cisco and Camilla in previous episodes and spend this episode specifically between Cisco and the people in Star Labs. I know there will be people complaining that Cisco and like Iris didn't get that many scenes. I think they had the one scene, I think it was. But it must be very important to remember that Cisco and Iris necessarily haven't been that big of a pairing on the show. They've had pairings, but it hasn't been that big. Like Cisco and Joe have had more pairings on the show, and they sort of got a bit of a farewell. Like Joe got one scene with Cisco. So there's going to be a debate about it, but whatever. Like it'll be a never-ending debate. But Cisco does give all of his concepts and designs and all of that stuff to Chester. It's almost like a passing of the torch. There was like a couple of moments like that with Cisco and Chester throughout this episode. So I really like that moment. But one thing that really got me, and it made it clear this is Cisco's going, was that montage of Cisco's time on Team Flash from all the way back in season 1 to present. It got me emotional, man. And then like Cisco says goodbye to Star Labs and the Cortex and saying goodbye to like the OG Flash suit from season 1, completely like the red logo. with the lightning bolts of the white one. Very emotional scene. I'm sure any true fan of the show was like tearing up a bit at that, or like welling up, going like, man, he's really going. But we did have some farewell parties. So we had Camilla with Iris, Allegra, and Cecile. They didn't really spend too much time with this, but I think it's mainly because like you're really saying goodbye to Cisco. I know we're saying goodbye to Camilla, but it's really mainly Cisco. You could argue that Iris got the short end of the stick being there, but I guess they're a part of Central City citizens, so I guess that's where you lay, I guess. But Allegra does bring up Cecile being at the crime scene from earlier in the episode, and Cecile gives like this really suspicious response, and I was like wondering where the hell that will lead, but we get that at the end of the episode. I thought we might not get that revealed till next week or something like that. But the farewell party to be at, the one that, you know, you have to be a VIP to get into, with Cisco, with Barry, Caitlin, and Joe. And Cisco gives a shirt of his each to Barry, Joe, and Caitlin. Like Caitlin got like the keep calm and hard shot first or whatever it was. Joe got the narwhals with the lightsabers. Very nice gift. Why didn't we get one, Cisco? Where's my one? Throw a dog a bone, please. Give me one. But a perfect way, I think. A perfect farewell scene for specifically OG Team Flash of Barry, Caitlin, and Cisco was karaoke time with Poker Face, and having Joe there just obviously cherry on top. But I thought that was great. Obviously, the first time that Barry sees Cisco and Caitlin is to Poker Face in the background, because apparently his favorite song based off his Facebook page, I think it was at the time. Don't know if that'd be overly relevant now. Maybe like a Instagram or something if this was season 1, not too sure. But I love that farewells, and I thought it was perfect. But that wasn't it. We get an end scene, and I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about this. So the end scene, we have Cecile arriving home. It's dark. Joe's obviously, I guess, at the farewell party at Cisco's farewell party. I'm assuming that's where he was. But Cecile arrives home, and very jarring, the parallels. Joe's having fun doing karaoke, Poker Face time, and Cisco's about to meet a face of her own. So someone's like talking to Cecile. It sounds like her. It's in a very creepy manner. And then she looks in a mirror, and we see someone with a gold mask looking back at her in that mirror. Now, I'm not sure if this is the case. I'm sure we'll learn next episode what's going on. But the mask looked like Psycho Pirate from that we saw in Elseworlds and just from the comics and stuff. I don't know if that's meant to be Psycho Pirate. He's got some like mental, like even empathy-based powers and everything like that. So maybe it is Psycho Pirate or a version of it. Maybe post-Crisis there's a different version of Psycho Pirate that's trying to get through to Cecile or using Cecile. I'm not too sure, but it looked like Psycho Pirate. So I don't know if anyone else agrees with that, but I'm very intrigued to see where that goes, because looks like Cecile is a bit messed up due to it. But yeah, overall, I love this episode. I really do. I know people are going to say it's cringy, but really there's 2 words that I can give to you in regards to that. Have fun. Just have some fun. Just have some fun. And I enjoyed the hell of it. I thought it was a really fitting episode for Cisco. It fits Cisco's personality and everything like that. And I'd gladly watch it again. Of course, they do have to like start moving into the back half of the season and the storyline there. But, you know, this was a good bridging episode and a bit of a palate cleanser before we move into that, if you want to say. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed, and hopefully you guys did as well. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, as well as I just said then. Hopefully enjoyed the episode as well. If you did, it'd be awesome. You could drop a like on it to show support. Like the video, drop a like on it to show support if you did. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions, thoughts, theories, anything like that, especially based off the end scene. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.